fix your function, you can then recover all the data by retriggering the failed events. So no data is lost. So we wanted to make our app faster. We moved the background, the blocking tasks from the user's critical path to background jobs, but also we got reliability as a nice addition. So now we have access to this infrastructure. So let's see what else we can do with the infrastructure we have in place. So this is our app right now. I didn't tell you yet, but Ingest actually allows you to schedule tasks in the future and orchestrate multi-step processes. So let's look at the send email function. And here we are just sending a welcome email, but it's always nice to increase user retention. You must probably heard that numerous times from the product managers. So we could actually do something fancy here. We could send the user an activation email drip campaign in the first week. So how do we go about doing that? So first, let's create an ingest function which will react to the same event. So far, we have been talking about this pattern that is called fan out, where you have multiple functions firing up at the same event. However, many tasks require sequential progression. Here we are building a drip campaign, so it is quite convenient that we can express the whole timeline as a procedural code. So we will use ingest steps with this function. We are here, you can see, we are using ingest step.run. In this way, the code will get automatically retried if it fails. But the code that runs successfully will be never retried again. And we'll see that in an action in a bit. And first we are sending the welcome email. This is the same part that we did before. Then Ingest will pause the execution of the function for 4 days. Here we are using step.sync. So from a programmer's perspective, it looks similar as putting set timeout. But actually, in the background, Ingest handles the scheduling for you. That means that your serverless function does not run for 4 days, so you don't have to sell your kidney to pay for your AWS bill, which is a nice thing to have. And then the last step is the final email with tips. If there's a failure on one of the steps, Ingest will know that the other steps worked and will only retry that one step until it works. And so now we have built a successful drip campaign. But we can always do a bit better. So imagine that someone has already signed up and immediately made a booking. It wouldn't make sense to send them the same email with the same tips as someone who hasn't finalized a booking. Probably they need different CPAs and different prompts. So we could actually build a dynamic campaign that would be responsive to users' actions. So let's do it. So first, the pleasant part, we will delete the last 2 steps because we like doing that. And elsewhere in our app, when a user completes a booking, there is an event send called booking.created, just like user.signup. Now we can use this event to determine the course of action. Here we are waiting for 4 days to see if the event will happen. Next, we will use the booking event to determine the course of action. If the booking was made, we will reward the user with our user tips. And well, if they need 4 days to make a booking, they need some basic tips. And honestly, this is so much fun that why stop there? You can go wild and create lots of emails with lots of tips. And speaking of tips, this is just the tip of an iceberg. We are talking here about sending emails, but Ingest is not a tool for emails. There are numerous use cases that go beyond just marketing campaigns. You can build complex payment flows, LLM prompt chaining, or multi-step data transformation. Whenever you can think about it like this, like whenever you need to have a bunch of stuff happen in response to an event, you could just consider Ingest. For example, SoundCloud uses Ingest to streamline generating dynamic videos. Pay uses Ingest with AI to summarize news and data. and resend the email platform, which actually I also used in this example, uses Ingest to verify email domains with serverless workflows. And Ingest works in any cloud. It's also framework agnostic, language agnostic, and in this example, you've seen a lot of TypeScript and type safety. But in addition to TypeScript, we also have a place for Python and Go, and you can actually mix and match them within your code, invoking functions written in different code. And there's also a local dev server, which actually doesn't require you to log in. So I see we have some moments, so let me show you that. I actually prepared a video because I am terrified of screen mirroring. So here's I made a little app that is an Astro app of booking table, restaurant tables. So first we're gonna run ingest, and this is the UI. Now you can't see anything there, but let's make our dream booking for a dream table. So we succeeded, and then you see the one function. You can check the payload, get all the information that you need. But the most important thing is that you also see all the functions that ran, when exactly that happened, and what the outcome was. So this looks pretty okay. But now let's see, what happens when there's a failure. So we have a failure, and you see the information that booking failed. You see information about the function, and you also get the information about the bug. So now you know where why the function is actually bugging out, exactly with the same error. But the most important thing here is that you see that there are attempts at which the ingest will be retrying this function. So that's going to be incremental. You can also specify that. Then you can already know what the bug is. You go to your code, and you just learn that maybe you're not very good at coding. Anyway, so of course not you, me. I'm just projecting. Yeah. So 1 second. See, I told you about the screen mirroring. 1 second. Okay, here we are. Yes. So anyway, so I spoke a lot about ingest here, but this talk is not only about ingest. When building real-world production applications, reliability is extremely important. Not only does it keep your users happy, it also makes your team more productive. You, as a developer, you're less bogged down by maintenance and operations. But achieving reliability is hard. Every engineer who ever had to build a reliable system at scale knows the amount of iterations and infrastructure work that goes into that. So in this example, we used ingest, but reliability is really important. Whether or not you are using a third-party solution, you will sooner or later ending up needing some solution for reliability. It is like security. It's really hard to add afterwards. So baking it into your architectural choices from the get-go probably is a good idea. And you may be like, why you may need some authority to support that. So here you have Matthew Drucker, the CTO of SoundCloud, who thinks you shouldn't be in the business of operating your own queues. Especially in the times like this, when engineering budgets are cut down, we as individual engineers are constantly expected to do more with less. So just like you are outsourcing your mailing list and email sending to cloud vendors, it's worth asking yourself, do you really want to be in the business of operating your own queues? But now, if we have more and more people who realize that maybe you don't want to do that, the question is, why do people still use it? So, well, the queues have been around since the 90s. And when we are used to something, it feels familiar and cozy, even if it's not the coziest solution. But you deserve coziness. To go back to the beginning of the talk, I really like to work on the side projects because I can focus on user needs instead of some daunting things like reliability. In 2024, you also deserve all fun and joy in your day jobs too. Anyway, so thank you so much for having me here. Let's be friends. Reach out to me.
you so much, Sylvia. Really enjoyed that. And folks, we are back on time, such funny. That's a great thing to have. So we actually are going to have about 5 minutes. I'm just going to pause and we're just going to enjoy a little bit of background music for 5 minutes while we get the next talk set up, and then you'll see my face again very soon. Feel free to use this time to switch tracks if you would like. Just remember that we are technically one talk behind from the schedule if you need to align with the other track. All right, I'll see you in 5 minutes.